Hello, esteemed viewers. Welcome back to Faith Meets Politics. Today, we're diving into the topic, like in my previous video that I talked about fat positivity, a movement that has frankly led many astray. It's a movement that clashes with science and, yes, even with common sense. Common sense is something a lot of people don't have nowadays. Many influencers pushing fat positivity are in reality struggling themselves. They're trapped in an unhealthy lifestyle, battling food addiction, and instead of breaking free, they encourage others to embrace the same bondage. I call it bondage because this is what it is, okay? Let's unpack why this movement is not what it seems and how it's impacting lives for the negative, right? Fat acceptance influencers are a growing force on platforms like YouTube, TikToks, and promoting the idea. They're promoting the idea that being overweight or obese is not is not only acceptable, right? They're saying that you have to accept it, but that it should be celebrated. How did we ever get here, ladies and gentlemen? How? They often frame weight loss as inherently fat-phobic and dismiss legitimate health concerns associated with obesity as nothing more than societal prejudice. These are the buzzwords that are going on in these platforms that they're saying. This messaging, while perhaps well-intentioned in some cases, is deeply misleading, and its implications for public health are severe. These are dangerous people. Do not listen to them, okay? They are misleading you. In this video, we're going to dive into the very real dangers of this movement and explore how promoting fat acceptance without addressing the health risk of obesity can lead to devastating consequences, including, hear this word, preventable deaths, all right? Preventable deaths from heart attacks, diabetes, and other obesity-related illnesses. Look, let me share something with you. I'll be honest with you. I love sweets. I would binge eat at night on all types of snacks, like cake, candy, sweetened juices. I would justify all that by saying, I can do this because I'm a CrossFit athlete, all right? And I could just work it off. I could work out and I could remain healthy and at the same time eat unhealthy. But when I recently went to the doctors and did a full panel blood test, it turns out that I am 3 points away from being fully fledged diabetic. You know what I did? As soon as I went home, I threw out all the cookies, all the candies, all the juices. Okay, I decided to make a radical change. I went to Target, I brought some healthy snacks, I got creative. Whenever I would get the craving to eat something at night that's not healthy, what I would do instead is, instead of reaching for a slice of cake, I now pour myself a bowl of Cheerios with no honey, just oats. Oat Cheerio with oat milk and no sugar, okay? Milk that has no sugar in it. I also stopped eating rice. And as a Latino, we love our rice, Latinos. I added a lot of vegetables and fruits to my diet and stacked up on a bunch of supplements like fish oils, green powders. Green powders are, if you don't like eating your veggies, it has all the veggies that you need, okay? And I feel much better. Since my full panel blood test, I have not had one piece of cake, no candy, no soda, no sweetened juices. I made a radical change because I am not about to die, at a young age from diabetes. I'm only 46 years old. And guess what? After making those changes, I feel 100% better. I feel better about myself physically, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically. To be clear, this is not about shaming individuals for their weight, okay? This is about addressing the harmful misinformation that's being spread by influencers who claim that being overweight or obese poses no risk to their health. BS, okay? These claims are not only unscientific, but also incredibly dangerous when they dissuade people from pursuing healthier lifestyles. let's unpack the facts. I love facts, all right? Let's target this subject with facts. Fact one, obesity is a condition that occurs when a person has excessive amount of body fat, which increases the risk of developing numerous, and I mean numerous, chronic diseases and health complications. Now, according to the World Health Organization, this is according to them, obesity is one of the leading preventable, hear this well, viewers, because obesity is directly linked to conditions of bad heart, strokes, type 2 diabetes, certain types of cancer. Obesity is linked to sleep apnea, joint problems, okay? The statistics are sobering, all right? Heart disease, which is often exacerbated by obesity, is the leading cause of death globally. So that means not only in America, but all over the world. Type 2 diabetes, another condition closely tied to excessive weight, can lead to kidney failures, blindness, can you believe this? And nerve damage. If you have diabetes, you can go blind. I've seen people's toes get chopped off. Obesity increases the risk of developing certain cancers, including breast, colon, and pancreatic cancer. If we don't get it together, man, I'm telling you, if we do not get this together, we are in a lot of trouble. These aren't abstract risks. They're real and affect millions of people every year. Yet, fat acceptance influencers often downplay or outright deny these connections, claiming that discussing about weight and health are rooted in fat phobia rather than scientific facts. All right, this whole fat phobia out there is just thrown out there. If you try to lose weight, you're fat phobic. All right, disgusting. The fat acceptance movement started as a way to combat discrimination and stigma against people who are overweight or obese. This is a valid concern, guys. Nobody, and I mean nobody, should be treated poorly because of their body size. That's just me. However, over time, the movement has shifted from promoting respect and self-worth to spreading harmful myths about health and obesity. Some of the most concerning messages are as follows. I'm going to go down the list, all right? Some of the concerning messages. Number one, health at every size. This phrase is a cornerstone of the fat acceptance movement. While it's true that health is influenced by many factors beyond weight, such as genetics, mental health, and socioeconomic status, it is misleading. Hear me well. It is very misleading to suggest that significantly overweight or obese is compatible with optimal health. I ain't buying that, because research consistently shows that obesity is a major risk factor for numerous diseases. To ignore this, guys, this evidence is to ignore reality. You ignore that evidence, you are ignoring reality. Number two, weight loss is fat phobic. This is what they claim. Many fat accepting influencers claim that efforts to lose weight are inherently rooted in fat phobia and societal pressure. Once again, how did we ever get here? This is an incredibly dangerous idea. For people with obesity-related health conditions, losing even a small amount of weight, just 5 to 10% of body weight, can lead to significant improvement in health markers like blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels. Framing weight loss as something negative discourages individuals from taking steps to improve their health. What these influencers are doing is they are discouraging people, okay? Number three, doctors are biased against fat people. While it's true that medical professionals should approach patients with compassion, right? I agree, with compassion, and avoiding making assumptions based solely on weight. It is irresponsible to suggest that doctors' concerns about obesity are unfounded. When doctors warn about the health risk associated with being overweight, they are doing so based on decades of scientific evidence, not bias or prejudice. Where are we getting this from? Number 4, diet culture is toxic, according to them. Diet culture is toxic. There's no denying that diet culture, with its emphasizing on extreme diets and unrealistic body standards, can be harmful. But rejecting the concept of healthy eating and exercise entirely, as some fat acceptance influencers do, is throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Proper nutrition and regular physical activity are essential, guys, for maintaining good health, regardless of your weight. Listen, you could look buff and be in bad condition, right? So let's talk about what happens when people buy into the idea that obesity is not a health concern. Here are some of the real consequences. Let's look at some of the real consequences that are often overlooked. We're going to go down the list, okay? So stick with me. Number 1, heart disease and stroke. Obesity puts an immense strain on the heart, okay? Carrying excessive weight forces the heart to work harder to pump blood, leading to high blood pressure and an increased risk of heart disease and stroke. Heart attacks are one of the most common causes of death among obese people. My father died of a heart attack last year. He was overweight. All right, I'll get into that in another video. Number 2, type 2 diabetes. Obesity is one of the leading causes of insulin resistance, which can result in type 2 diabetes. This condition affects millions of people worldwide and comes with severe complications, including kidney damage, nerve damage, and increased risk of amputation due to poor circulation. Can you believe that? There are young people that are walking without a leg, without an eye, simply because they are diabetic. 3, sleep apnea. Excess weight, particularly around the neck, can obstruct airways and lead to sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. Sleep apnea not only affects quality of life, but also increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. All of this can be prevented. We can prevent all of this, okay? Number 4, joint pain and mobility issues. Carrying extra weight places stress on joints, particularly the knees, hips, leading to pain. It reduces the mobility, your ability to move, and increase a risk of osteoarthritis. For many people, this limits their ability to engage in physical activities, creating a vicious cycle of weight gain and health decline. A lot of obese people cannot maneuver around with their kids. Premature death studies consistently show, number 5, that obesity is associated with a higher risk of premature death. By promoting the idea that obesity is not a health risk, fat acceptance influencers are encouraging a lifestyle that can significantly shorten your lifespan. Now, social media platforms like TikTok and YouTube, please forgive me for the background noise, those are my dogs, have become powerful tools for shaping public opinion. Fat acceptance influencers use these platforms to reach millions of viewers. I'm talking about millions. That's a lot of viewers, often framing their messages in emotionally compelling ways that resonates with audience. While these messages may feel empowering on the surface, they are often riddled with misinformation. Here's how. Now we're going to break it down. Hold on 1 second. I dropped something here. Okay, we're back. Number 1, viral sound bites over nuanced social media rewards short. Catch content that often lack the nuance needed to discuss complex topics like health and obesity. Influencers simplify their messages to love your body as it is without acknowledging the health risk associated with obesity. So you have to love your body, right, for who you are. We should all love our body. We should all be confident who we are. But it's a misleading message. Number two, echo chambers, other algorithms on platforms like YouTube and TikTok tend to promote content that aligns with viewers' existing beliefs, creating echo chambers where misinformation can spread unchecked. Followers of fat-accepting influencers are often exposed to a continuous stream of content that reinforces unhealthy ideas. Three, shaming healthcare interventions. Some influencers, can you believe this? They're shaming healthcare interventions. Some influencers actively discourage their followers from seeking medical advice or intervention for weight-related health issues. This is bonkers. Framing these as oppressive or fat-phobic. There goes the buzzwords. This discourages individuals from getting the care they need. How did we ever get here? It's crucial we push back against these harmful narratives and promote accurate, evidence-based information about health and weight. Okay, we need to fight back against these people. This doesn't mean shaming or stigmatizing people who are overweight or obese. Instead, it means encouraging everyone to prioritize their health. How? By focusing on nutrition. Let's talk about that. Eating a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains can improve health outcome for every size. All right, there is hope out there for you. Encouraging physical activity. Regular exercise, even in small amounts, has immense benefits for physical and mental health, right? Seeking medical guidance. Doctors, dietitians can provide personalized advice to help individuals manage their weight and reduce the risk of obesity, of obesity-related health conditions. The fat acceptance movement, guys, may have started with good intentions, but it has morphed into a dangerous ideology that prioritizes feelings over facts. By spreading misinformation about obesity and dismissing legitimate health concerns, the fat acceptance influencers, this movement, are putting lives at risk. Obesity, hear me well, is not just a cosmetic issue. It's a serious health problem that requires honest conversation and evidence-based solution. Let's advocate for compassion and self-worth. But let's also advocate, guys, for health, science, and well-being of everyone. Thank you once again for watching my channel. Please subscribe, share this subject because it is very important for people to be health conscious. God bless and be well.